Hi, this is Christelle Martinet with another scrying session for Friday the 13th. It's going to be Friday the 13th. I thought it would be a great great time to scry, seeing that suspicions, people have, live with suspicions, and it's just a date to use as an excuse, as always. I see a lot of celebration here, as if the outward self, the person outward, public, social, has a way of wanting to celebrate and showing other people that you're wanting to celebrate. And however, there's a different side on the inside story. What I see on the inside is sort of the sad clown, and how you're trying as much as you can to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and seeing if you could, live up to your outward social projection. So it's an intention, it's an intention to show, it's an intention to see, have other people see and show, what it is that you really would like to portray. And however, it's not that successful. I don't see that much success here. There's, it looks as if there is, after the 13th, okay, so the 13th is Friday, it's tomorrow, and the 14th and the 15th, those, especially the 14th, it's a day that you really would like, it's as if you run a tantrum, stamping your feet, falling on the ground, just like a child, and I want this, and I want that, and why can't I do that? It's as if you all of a sudden break down, and be the child that we haven't been in such a long time, and start demanding things, and wanting things, and why can't that be, and wondering and asking, And so we turn into children for a day. But there's still that adult intention that would like to pair up the true intentions with the actions, and that takes a little more time, a little more doing. I had one subscriber write under my videos, God is watching you, shame on you, you project these, I was advertising my services, and and God is watching, and I thought to myself, and I did, I she pushed my buttons, and or he, I don't know who's writing to me actually in YouTube, pushed my buttons, and I answered. I said, well, yeah, here I am doing free videos, I'm sure he's watching as well, and I shouldn't have, but you fall to the bait. I mean, we're human beings, we're not robots. So but here too, this is something that you would like but can't, you would like but you can't, and you're wondering, what do I have to do and able to? What could I be, and you're really wanting and desiring, and there's still that split. I feel that split is going to characterize the next 2 days, as if, yes, I do want, but I am afraid, and then you could do, all of this self-sabotaging, and cutting your nose to spite your face, and however, that desire is still there, that desire to do and to be and to react and to show, and unfortunately the timing usually is what is off, and in this weekend, this Friday and Saturday, I see that timing as being slightly off. You want, but the other person doesn't want. You would like, but the other person doesn't want, and it's as if you're sending messages out there, probably just as an trial and error. You know, you're sort of experimenting again, you know, experimenting with, well, what would happen if I do this? What will happen if I do that? And although there is some respite, you know, there is a moment where you do feel very, very light. And as I'm reading, you know, there is this lightness, this sense of lightness. Even though that is there, you know, it's always as if in order to feel 100% or 103%, we need that feedback, we need that return, we need, you know, that pat on the head of the mother that says, you're all right, you're doing the right thing, you know, and some form of feedback. In this world of communication, we have control over what we say, but we don't have any control about what other people understand or how people react to what we say, which is fine. I mean, you know, I'm not a control freak, but you wonder, and we're in this eternal state of wondering, and well, what should I do now? And I hope that person is, you know. And it seems as if oftentimes there's a little bit too much projection outward, you know. And then you think, well, I must be doing something wrong. I must be doing something wrong. Well, if I guard myself, if I put up a wall, that probably will work better, you know. And it's always very, very, very confusing for us earthly souls to understand how how to enact communication, how to start communication with other people. And it's quite difficult, this, to pin down, because of course then everyone else is different, everyone else is so much different than us, and everyone from, you know, other people. I have a very dear friend of mine wrote to me the other day, and I said, oh, you know, I'm thinking of traveling. Well, if you're thinking of traveling, then get down and contact me. We have to see each other, because or else you're going to be gone before I can see you, you know. Really lively, lively soul. And it's just those lively, lively reactions that just makes you, you know, fills you with joy. It just fills you with joy. And that's, you know, yes, the other day I scried, and I was talking about how people gravitate to happiness and love, and you do gravitate toward that. You gravitate toward that openness, you know, with equal intention, and it's pleasant. It's very, very pleasant. And you know that nothing will go wrong. You know, you know that you will not be hurt. And that's ultimately the key fear that everyone has. And I've been hearing that over and over these days. Will he hurt me? Will she hurt me? Will she respond? What do I do if, you know? And you know, of course, this stems from us being humans. We're humans. We're only humans. We've chosen this human existence so we can experience emotions, and the good and the bad. And there is good and bad with lifetime, you know. Probably a lot of souls, if a lot of souls were told before they incarnate, look, you're going to go down to earth, you're going to incarnate, and it's really emotionally mushy down there. It could go 50% well, it could go 50% poorly. You could, you know, you could be splattered on the pavement with fear and pain, or you could reach the heights of ecstasy, you know. If that was told to souls in before they incarnate, perhaps maybe they would change idea. I know, I used to say, before I had my first child, he was a small, tiny baby, and he would be awake every 2 hours. And I said outwardly to everyone, had I known that I would have to wake up every 2 hours, I would have never had this kid. And I meant it. I meant it. You know, I wasn't ready for all of that waking up and staying awake. I wasn't ready for that. Well, it's breaking up my sleeping patterns. But what can we do? You know, we are humans. And so humans experience fear. And it's this fear that, I'm getting the word congeal. It's fear that stops people in their track. It's fear that makes people also, however, and I want to draw this to you, it's fear that makes people risk, with the option that if I risk it all, I may win it all. And if I don't, I lose it all, then it wasn't worth it. At the one crazy moment, we have that light in our eyes where we think, I'm ready to risk it all. I'm ready to do it all. Come what may, And it happens very rarely and very infrequently. And then, thank God for the myriad of people around, because there's always so many different people that do communicate in a like manner, so you do get some form of feedback, and so you don't think, well, maybe I'm not, this person's not writing to me because I'm crazy, or, there are other people that do appreciate you and do love you, and that is such a blessing for us. Now, of course, everyone writes to me and says, why? Why? There are two things that I'm asked repeatedly. When? When will it happen? When will they contact me? When will I see them again? When? And notoriously, the timing is a very difficult issue with the tarot, with psychic abilities. But when you know. I've timed events very precisely sometimes, and I've been off tremendously, horrendously other times. But when you are sure, you are sure. Another question that I'm always asked is why? Why do they do this? Why don't they respond? Why don't they contact me? And in one event, I have to say, I said, look, this person is in jail, and it was on the money. After a couple of weeks, they found out, and that person was in jail and was on the money. But the reasons behind the intricacy of motivations is very complex, and sometimes, it's worthwhile concentrating on why you want to know. What does that change? Does it change anything for you? Does your life depend on knowing why? Would you feel, a murderer in your midst? There is a serial killer in the neighborhood, and he's murdered 5 children, and then the person died, the serial killer died. Would it help knowing why? And I do fall into these traps, and I'm a why person. Why? I have to get to the nature of things. I have to understand why. Why does that happen? Because it seems that once I know why, then I can just go on my merry way, and I know. But last time I scried, we did talk about doubt, and how doubt is a healthy thing, because doubt does leave room for you, even as a human soul, to maneuver and ask more questions and experience different things. And it's interesting that. And the surprises that come our way are so pleasant, so pleasant. And like I said, I said myself, I love surprises. And the surprises are there to make you understand that we can't know everything. We cannot. We're just humans. We just cannot know everything. And I think I'll leave it at that, ladies and gentlemen, until we scry again. Happy Friday the 13th. And I'm going on my other channel to read with the Black Cat Tarot, just because it's Friday the 13th. And leave us with the why and the when. Why and when? And does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. Because we're living our own life. We're going to continue and experiencing the things that life has to offer. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. It was a pleasure to scry with you. Bye-bye. Oh, wait, one more thing. I'm reminded of the fact that a lot of people ask me to mentor them. Now, I'm going to talk about this in this YouTube channel because there's never enough time with the other channel. But mentoring is a very difficult thing for me. I've taught all my life. I've taught. I come from teaching, And what I have learned from my mother, first of all, is the fact that you set an example and people learn from example, similarly to what I'm doing now. And people think, well, how could she do that? What is she seeing? What is she looking at? You know, if I change stones, you know, if I change gems, if I change rocks, what is the message that she gets? And never before can time stand still in this type of work, because you really need the time to concentrate and to watch. And if you see, and if you watch at the same time that I'm looking at, of course you have a different eye view, you have a different light and different vision in the video. But you yourself can, if you're looking at a flame and you're looking at a light, you're looking at a gem. This is citrine. You'll see images and visualizations. You'll see them appear. You can explain them. You can describe them. You can feel them. You can taste them. You can smell them practically as if they were real. And you just talk about them, you know. And again, with the mentoring, it's a matter of emulating. It's like Tai Chi. I did Tai Chi for a while. I'm going back to that this summer. You go to open air. Here in Rome, there are parks all over the world. They're done collectively in open air situations, contexts. And you, no matter what level you are with Tai Chi, you emulate the master in front of you. And this is the same thing. This is similar to that. Okay, namaste, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for scrying with me. Until we see each other again, happy 13th of May. Bye-bye.